Okay, if you guys don't already know, I live in Singapore and it's one of the busiest cities in the world. I love my country, I love it so much. But if there's one thing I wish could be better, it would be the weather lah. I think a lot of you guys, Singaporean friends out there, you also can agree with me that our weather is definitely not the best. It's very hot, it's very humid. And one thing about it that I don't like is that whenever I put on my makeup in the morning, like, it looks so good, and once I step out of the house and at the end of the day it just looks so greasy, so cakey, and my skin looks dry, it looks dull, and you guys can see like there's so much pollution in the city. And I know that it's something that we don't see, we don't feel, but I'm sure it definitely has an impact on how our skin reacts to all these things. So I was also joined by my friend Jane, who came from Thailand as well, and we just had lots of yummy food in the hawker center. However, it was super oily and greasy and there were flames everywhere. Not that I'm complaining, but you know, my makeup definitely didn't stay after that. I spent a lot of time outdoors and I'm sure pollution is definitely one of the reasons why my skin reacts this way. So today, I'm finally gonna meet a derm and I'm gonna ask her a ton of questions and try to find out what's going on. So hopefully by the end of today, I will be able to share some insights and give you guys some answers, or tips rather, that I learned. And hopefully I'll have nice glowing skin because I've got a night out plan with my girlfriends tonight. So let's go! So we just did the brand introduction, and honestly I've learned so much more about Neutrogena. If you guys don't already know, they are the #1 dermatologist recommended brand, especially in the US. They are a mass market brand that combines both derma skincare, developed and also recommended by dermatologists, a lot of science behind all of their products and technology, and they've combined it to bring it to the mass markets, which is available readily and accessible to us. And I think that is actually really good. So today at the Johnson & Johnson office, I am going to be meeting Dr. Liu. So she's a dermatologist that is based in Singapore, and they've invited her here to just answer some of our questions, and I've prepared some questions for all of us. Of course, all of them I'm super curious about, and hopefully after speaking with her I can have more insights to share with you guys about our skin, our pollution, our city and everything. Because honestly, I'm the kind of person that needs a lot of convincing. I'm always very skeptical, like when brands kind of like claim certain things. I really need to have real science and real experts to explain it properly to me before I can fully understand it. And I'm sure that's the same for a lot of you guys as well. Today is the day I'm gonna dig out all of the facts for you guys. So you guys are coming along with me. Hi guys, we have Dr. Liu here, and of course my friends from the region, Olita from Indonesia and Jane from Thailand, and we all have our questions. So we're going to take turns to ask Dr. Liu.
In cities, normally we have lots of harmful substances, for example like the UV pollution, the heat, as well as the micropollutant that we know as PM2.5. So PM2.5 are actually micro particulates that's in our air that's invisible to our human eyes, and therefore it can penetrate very easily through our skin. And that in itself causes skin inflammation, irritation, dryness, as well as causing skin aging and skin pigmentation.
Dr. Liu, you know I travel a lot. I wear a lot of makeup and I have very dry and sensitive skin. But I also know that with pollution, I'm supposed to be washing my face properly. How often should I be doing it?
Okay, I wouldn't recommend that you overwash them, because quite often when you wash them, it strips off all the moistures that's on your skin. So choosing the right cleanser, an effective one that get rid of your makeup and impurities. But I would recommend that no more than twice a day. Unless you need something else to clean your face in case, let's say you for makeup, you want to change your makeup for the next shooting, for example, perhaps using a gentle wipes would be a good idea, rather than keep splashing them with water.
There's also a great way for us to clean our face, like a round motion, or is there like a perfect?
Okay, I wouldn't say there is a effective motion of cleaning your face, but first and foremost, I think choosing the cleanser like I mentioned just now. And as long as you wet your face and then a little bit of the cleanser, and you just rub in your hands and just gently moisturize. And I'm sure you heard of it that you do not want to harshly rubbing your skin. And of course, using scrubs, or we call it the polish on the face, will be very good as well. Perhaps you don't want to do that every day because it can be quite harsh, and that in itself can clear up all the impurities that's left behind. Okay, and the other thing is if you do wear makeup, using those micellar water-based kind of makeup removal would be a good idea. Usually we'll suggest that you do that before you clean your face. Okay.
Heading to the lab. So after my chat with the dermatologist, we went to the GNJ Lab to meet with the experts that would show us the science behind pollution and how pollution would affect our skin. I was handed a lab coat and that was pretty cool. And then we were on a guided tour to check out the entire lab and speak to a lot of people. So I was very excited with my friends. In the first demonstration, they handed me like PM2.5 particles to show us that even though pollution is not visible on our skin, they are definitely still there. So I could see all these particles very, very clearly, and the scientists actually applied a very, very thin layer on my skin. So there you have it. It's a drop that was very, very black in color, very opaque, but once she spread it out, it was almost invisible to my skin. And then she kind of put this device to look at my skin under the microscope, and it was honestly very scary. So armed with this knowledge, I was then introduced to the Neutrogena Deep Clean Foaming Cleanser. They just very gently wash my skin under running water, and then we put it under the microscope again, and it was completely clean. So that was actually really, really cool, and it shows that this cleanser can very effectively remove PM2.5 pollution particles. In the next experiment, we saw that one of the main ingredients of the Neutrogena Deep Clean Foaming Cleanser is glycerin, and how glycerin actually maintains our skin's bounciness and hydration. So a bowl of water beads was treated with water, and the other one was treated with 30% glycerin. And after drying it overnight, the one with 30% glycerin still remained like plump and bouncy, and this just shows how glycerin will help our skin remain firm and plump. And I actually saw the whole bottle of glycerin myself, and it was really cool because it was quite viscous but at the same time still quite watery. And lastly, we were shown the petal demos where we saw 3 pieces of petals that were treated with different levels of oxidative stress. It was quite interesting to see because PM2.5 actually induces oxidative stress to our skin, and this actually accelerates the skin dullness and causes more melanin to be produced. So you can see that the high oxidative stress one definitely had a lot more browning, a lot more withering, whereas the one with water, which had no oxidative stress, remained really beautiful and very fresh looking. So it's just like our skin, you know, when we put it through all these pollutants, PM2.5, all this high oxidative stress, and don't remove it properly, this is what happens. Well, that was a long day and I'm back in my room right now. I'm gonna get ready for a girls' night out with my friends and we're gonna get some drinks. So I thought I should just remove my makeup because I've had this makeup on for the whole day. And of course, I'm gonna show you guys how I usually use this. And because I did so many things with Neutrogena and I learned so much from them, I'm gonna try my best to explain everything to you guys in this video. So I'm trying to remove as much makeup as I can, but sometimes it's just impossible to remove 100%, which is why we need to go in then with a really good facial cleanser for our face. And this is the Neutrogena Deep Clean Foaming Cleanser. What I learned is that even though you don't see pollution, you don't feel pollution, but living in a city, pollutants are everywhere. Pollutants are actually very, very harmful for our skin, and often I don't really think so much about it, you know, because I don't feel it, I don't see it, right? After going to the lab today and speaking with Dr. Liu, I really started to think a lot about pollution and what its effects are on our skin and how damaging it is. So for those of you who don't know, impurities from the air can actually penetrate deep into our skin and sometimes even into our body. So we can't completely prevent it from coming into our skin, and it actually causes aging, pigmentation, and irritation to our skin as well. All in all these are the things that you want to remove and not let it sit in your skin for too long. Neutrogena Deep Clean Foaming Cleanser, this one over here is actually formulated with glycerin. And glycerin, if you guys are not familiar with this ingredient, it is very good for hydrating your skin and also restoring your skin barrier's functions. If you guys look at the back of your ingredients list, right, usually in your facial cleansers, the first ingredient is always the one that has the highest concentration in the packaging. This one actually has glycerin as the first ingredient, which means it has the highest concentration. And if you look at all of your other facial cleansers, usually the highest concentration is water. So this one, it's like my first time seeing a facial cleanser that has glycerin as the highest concentration in a packaging. So the texture is actually very creamy. So I'm done washing my face using the Neutrogena Deep Clean Foaming Cleanser. I actually really like it. Like, it feels super soft on the skin. And you guys know I have dry skin, so usually with foaming deep clean cleansers, like, it always just leaves my skin feeling very dry and tight, but this one doesn't do it for me. First impression when I first used this was how creamy the texture was, and also this removes 99% of the micro pollutants, which is exactly what we need because we live in a city with a lot of pollutants in the air. When you go outdoors, when you're driving, when you're taking the public transport, when you're eating at a hawker center, all these things actually do affect your skin. So you don't want all these nasty things on your skin before you head to bed or when you go out. Alrighty, so now I'm gonna jump in with my skincare routine. I really love this moisturizer. It's the Hydro Boost Water Gel. It's super hydrating, but it comes in a very cooling gel texture, which is suitable for everyone. Alright, now it's time for makeup. So today, I think I'm going for a pretty glamorous kind of nighttime look, but because I don't have a lot of time and I still have to do my hair, I'm gonna speed this through. Alrighty, and this makeup look is now complete. I'm gonna go and get changed and I'll do my hair. So I'll be right back. And here is the finished look. I really like how bright my skin looks. Like, so nice, right? This is my outfit. Alright, let's go and meet my friends.